Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kirill, your Justice analyst from Belarus living in Germany, and today it's time to continue with the Eurovision 2026 entries. Today it's time to take a look at quite an interesting country in Eurovision, and it's Poland. Why is it interesting? Because almost every year they're in the final. They kind of have always pretty good results, but actually after their very successful debut in 1994, they never managed to be higher than place 7, so their best result up to this day after the debut was in 2003 with Ich Treue. But who was given an honor this year to try to improve their best result and maybe to finally enter top 5? It's 23 years old Alicja Szemplińska, who many of you might remember because in 2020 she already won the Polish national selection, was set to represent her country in Rotterdam in the Netherlands, but then Eurovision was cancelled and next year unfortunately she was not chosen. But that's definitely not the only thing you need to know about Alicja. Actually, her first TV appearance in Poland was when she was just 14 years old and she managed to win a contest called Hit Hit Hurra. 3 years later, 17 years old Alicja appears in The Voice of Poland Season 10 in 2019, where she performed the song of Alessia Cara, Scars to You're Beautiful, and became sensational. I checked all her performances and my favorite one was definitely for The Wicked Game. That cover she performed in the semi-final of The Voice, but what was her result? Actually, she was the winner, and after being announced as the winner, she released her first own single, which was called Prawie Mi. It managed to do well in Polish charts, it got golden certification, it has 8 million views on YouTube, so this is definitely the biggest success of Alicja to this day. And just 2 months after the final of The Voice, she showed up in the Polish national selection for Eurovision 2020 with the song written by the same composers as Prawie Mi and by herself as well. She won that selection, convincing both the juries and the televoters, and when Eurovision was cancelled, she was ranked 20th by the bookmakers, but out of 41 entries. You might be wondering why in 2021 Alicja didn't represent Poland, because she actually expressed her desire to do so. So rumor has it, at least the current representative from 2021, Rafal, said this in one of the interviews, that Alicja was keeping sending different ballots to the broadcaster, and broadcaster for some reason wanted to have an up-tempo song for that Eurovision Song Contest. That Eurovision had a lot of bops and bangers, so actually the ballad would have done probably better. Afterwards, Alicja tried herself in different styles and more up-tempo songs, but generally found her niche or her style in the soul music, which she kind of showed up in Eurovision selection for 2023 in Poland with her new song New Home. Words for me to say, find the love and give myself. That song was composed by Alicja herself with the help of 2 other composers, but unfortunately managed to only reach place 6 out of 10 participants. But Alicja didn't give up, she came back again to the Polish national selection now in 2026, and as you know, she managed to win the televote-only selection this year with quite a big margin. She got more than 1/3 of all votes casted. But what do we know about her 2026 entry, Praise? So it was composed by Alicja herself with the help of 2 not so well-known songwriters and producers. One of them, Sinclair Alan Malcolm, better known as Sinclair the Mage, is a songwriter and producer from London. He doesn't really have any very famous works, but for example his newest single called Across the Water, released just in February, already managed to collect 5,000 listens on Spotify. Another composer, Weronika Gabrielczyk, better known as Vera, has been featured on two much more successful songs. One has 2 million views on YouTube, another one has 1.3 million. And in 2024, she actually took part in The Voice of Poland 5 seasons and 5 years after Alicja. She ended up in the same team of Thompson and Bayron. It's sort of a rock duo from Poland, but she was eliminated kinda quickly already in the knockout stage. I see rain, rain, oh, rain. So I would say quite an unusual team of composers behind this entry. No one who really has any experience with Eurovision Song Contest. That's why it makes me even more curious to go to my first listen of Pray, where I will take a look at the studio version. Afterwards, we will take a look at the lyrics and finally at the live performance from Polish national selection. Due to the copyright, I will have to mute and cut out some parts of the song for you, but I'm listening to the whole song without any interruptions, just giving you my short comments. Let's go. Freedom, just... It definitely gives again the soul vibe right from the first seconds. Ooh, this vocals, wow. Alicja is just great. It's the missing piece of me. The agility of her voice, this riffs, on point. You told me to pray. Ooh, it becomes very powerful. Pretty girls rock. I've been on my shit now. This is not a drop I was expecting. Take 5 now, I'm the boss. On my go, move fast, take this time. It's very cool, very unusual for Eurovision Song Contest. In my air, I know my air, I said stay out of my way. Is it still the same song? Where the sky ends, paving my own ways. It definitely doesn't sound like a typical Eurovision song at all. I think you need a sip of holy water. I definitely have to take a closer look at the lyrics. It seems to be very interesting. It's hard to say what exactly is here a chorus, but it's definitely a vibe. Oh my god, Alicja, crazy vocal. Wow, incredible. Oh, and that's already the end. That's definitely a very unique choice. It doesn't sound like anything else I have heard in the past in Eurovision Song Contest. The only entry with blues which I can think about is definitely Unsubstantial Blues from 2007. God, if I could make it all without you. I remember back then it was also considered not really fitting into what Eurovision Song Contest songs should be like, but you can see on your screen that it was actually in top 10 in the end. This song, however, is definitely not a classical blues. It's a mix of some blues, soul, gospel, R&B, and also pop. It's definitely much more accessible than all these genres which I have just listed. So I'm very curious to see how it will exactly look live on stage, but now let's take a look at the lyrics to see what Pray is about. In the beginning of the song, Alicja is questioning if Lord is giving up on her, highlighting all her struggle that she would like the missing piece back, but then immediately saying that she is not giving up on herself. Later she says that she will be paving her own ways. I find the end of the second verse also interesting. They told me go shake that ass, take that off, 2 steps back, why it always feel the same. So it seems like it might be even reflecting that moment in 2021 when she was asked to perform an up-tempo song which wouldn't really fit her own style, which she rejected. So it basically says stay true to yourself, pave your own way, don't listen too much to the others, don't be influenced too much by the opinions of the others, and don't try to fit into the patterns. Believe in yourself, fight for your own ideals, and the things will definitely come your way. So I love that for Alicja is such a personal message, probably related to also her previous Eurovision attempts. But now let's take a look at the live performance and see how it looks and sounds live. So let's see, it's Alicja with her performance from the final of national qualifiers, as the Polish selection is called. Let's go. Very cool outfit, quite brave choice. Her voice from the first seconds, just mesmerizing. This belting with the light vibrato, just absolutely excellent.
What are you giving up on me? 'Cause I'm not.
The background visuals are definitely giving the vibe of Soviet architecture. Not really sure how it is connected to the song, but maybe Alicja herself was raised in a house like that and it's sort of autobiography story for her. Not really sure what is happening in the background with the dancers. I think they can come up with something more interesting for Eurovision, but in any case, she is here very much in spotlight and she is incredible.
Pretty girls rock. I've been on my shit now.
The way how quickly she transitioned now from the chorus, which she performed in this very much heavy overdrive mode, to the soft vocals in the verse is definitely remarkable. I love this visual with the white pulsating light in the background, and I have to say with the live performance, the whole song kinda comes up together. Performance looks just amazing, kinda gives me almost Melody Festival vibe, you know, just based on the camera works and the lights, which is sort of a seal of excellence, so great job.
Taking over. Ay, ay, trickery ain't nothing new.
The bridge is maybe not engaging enough, but I hope in the live performance in Vienna they will have something going on stage which will just grab our attention. Wow, this last note is absolutely out of this world, and I'm sure the juries will not leave this unnoticed. I absolutely love the performance of Alicja. I think she's such a superstar. The song is so modern, so 2026. My only concern is that it's something we have never experienced in Eurovision before. I don't really know how the juries or the televoters will respond to this soul, R&B, gospel, pop mix. So it's incredibly hard to make any predictions. But now let's take a look at the previous results of Poland in Eurovision Song Contest semi-finals. I think the main eye-catcher here is definitely this place 15 in accordance with the last 15 years history in Eurovision Song Contest in the jury voting. This is place 15 out of 15 entries taking part in the same semi-final where Poland takes part. So it basically means that Poland is the least likely semi-finalist to qualify in accordance with the jury voting. From the 10 occasions when juries were voting in the semi-finals for Poland, 9 times they didn't qualify. Only once in 2022 it was the only case when the incredible vocals of Christian Ockman have pulled Poland to the final and also convinced the juries.
Just float away.
On the other hand, televoters love Poland. Poland is ranked 6th out of 15 countries taking part in their semi-final in accordance with the televote only, and in the combined result they're very much a borderline qualifier. And with Alicja you would think that the juries should support because of the very strong vocals, but the juries are actually always seeking the radio-friendly songs which these producers, TV people from all over Europe can play on their radio stations in their countries on the next day after the final. And I'm not really sure that Pray is such a radio-friendly song which juries will support that much, so I'm not so sure about Polish chances this year, but so far it seems like it might be one of those occasions when the televoters didn't support too much and the juries again just disrespected Poland. And now let's take a look at the bookmaker odds. So as you can see on your screen, Poland is ranked 30th out of 35 contestants this year in their odds to win Eurovision 2026. Alicja has been on place 20 in 2020 out of 41 participants, so now it's much lower. But I think it's just a mix of the factors that it's Poland, which usually is not the country which is always qualifying, especially when the juries are present, and secondly, just the genre of the song is so risky, so new to Eurovision that we don't really know if it will find its audience. So let's see if Alicja has managed to find the audience, at least within Eurovision fandom community. So as you can see on your screen, Poland is ranked 31st out of 35 entries. In any case, points-wise, she's closer to place 22, which is Germany, than to place 32, which is Estonia, because of this huge gap. So I think it's not all lost for Alicja. She definitely found a lot of listeners for the song, because this 22,000 of votes means that thousands of people have actually ranked her on their first, second, third place. So I'm sure that many of these people will also vote for her in Eurovision Song Contest. So now we have reached the end of my analysis video. I think it's a very interesting entry from Poland this year. I don't think it's all lost. I think Poland definitely has good chances to qualify if they just improve the performance a little bit, make it more interesting, especially in the bridge part. I felt like some additional visuals were very much needed. And who knows, maybe Alicja just started a new trend of this sort of R&B, gospel, blues-inspired songs coming to Eurovision. Let's see. Definitely don't forget to like this video, to subscribe to my channel to not miss my next release, and I will see you there. Bye bye.